All right, so welcome back to a Process to Perform Best at the Basics video. The last couple of weeks we've been spending time with the offensive lineman and how being the best at the core details of offensive line can really accelerate your ability to perform even at the highest level. I want to look at defensive linemen this week because the concepts are really the same. We're both fighting for real estate. We're both trying to get to confrontation under control because how we get to confrontation really dictates the terms of that confrontation, ultimately how we perform during that confrontation. So I want to start with something that's conceptually very easy to identify. If you look across history at the best pass rushers in the league, by and large, the Reggie Whites, the Warren Sapps, the Cam Wakes of the world, they have one pass rush move. And what are they really doing? They're threatening leverage positions, either by the way they line up, either by that confrontation spot is different, that real estate spot's different than what an offensive lineman is comfortable with or what's normal for them, or just by a flurry of footwork moves and speed to really challenge that leverage at the high point. What I've found is studying these guys over and over and over, not only as an opponent, but also as a coach and someone who's just an enthusiast of the game, you can really see that by challenging the real estate spot and challenging the leverage of an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, by switching that real estate spot, a defensive lineman is dictating the terms of confrontation. Therefore, by dictating the terms of confrontation, you are in a better position to be successful over and over and over again. And guys, it's a numbers game. You might not get a sack every play, but if you're winning every single play because you're going through your process the right way, the sacks are going to come, the pressures are going to come, the winning is going to come. So take a look at these videos, some from Cam Wake from a couple of years ago, but then we're going to go to last week and see how coming downhill at an opponent and just changing that real estate spot, it really has a huge effect on the ability of an offensive lineman to do their job. All right, we're going to start by profiling Cam Wake, a guy I got a chance to work with for a couple of years in Miami. Cam was the absolute master. He had one pass move. He had some things off it, but this is really it, guys. Look at that angle he starts with his stance. He's telling you, hey, I'm running downhill. I'm taking a line from my stance to the quarterback where he's going to line up, and I'm going to go there. And I'm going to force you to get to that real estate point before you want to. And what happens over and over and over again? They turn their hips, and he gets an advantageous position to make a play. You can see 72 here. He's trying to get out there and get him. Look at where his hips are. Look at where his feet are positioned. Eventually, Cam's smart. He's playing the numbers game, right? He's going to get one after a certain amount of reps. Will Hayes, one of the guys he worked with, taught him the same idea, right? Will's coming right downhill, gets 72, who's been a great player in this league, stops moving his feet, sets for this big play because the real estate battle is happening before they want. Now, last week, as opposed to, we look at 52 on the right side here versus a great young right tackle. 52 is trying to run the wheel, gives him his chest, and then comes in early. He's doing exactly what the right tackle wants him to do. But if we look at the next snap at number 91 on the left side now, again, he's forcing that real estate confrontation earlier than 67 is ready for it. It's happening too fast. Stop moving your feet. Open up your hips. Give up the hit. Again, pressure equals picks, guys. It's not always about the sack. It's about the pressure. Same thing here on the left side. Things are happening before that tackle's ready for confrontation. So because of the speed, because of the angle, this is like a 2 kick for a left tackle, right? It means he has to take 2 kick slides to be in position. This guy opens up immediately because he's worried about losing that edge, that leverage, opens up his hips, gives up pressure. Now what happens? Same position. Guy looks like he's coming downhill on him. Freezes him. Inside quick, right? So there's so many things you can do off this move because ultimately it makes that left tackle, that right tackle, any position, it makes them stop their feet and they think about they're going into confrontation earlier than they're ready to. Just a great move here by the defensive end. Gets rid of the ball, but again, bad things happen when you make pressure on the ball. Now watch 91 here. Absolute masterful job at it. Doesn't get into the play, but you look, he freezes, and what happens? 76 has to open up his hips. We got problems. So as you can see, just changing the real estate game, just coming downhill either in your stance, right, or just changing that line from that direct pathway from where you are as a defensive lineman to where the quarterback's going to line up and forcing that offensive lineman to open up their hips, forcing them to change their hips and their footwork towards the sideline, forcing them to maybe set out wider than they wanted to or set in an angle that they really shouldn't be, forcing that junction point before they're ready so they're not coming into confrontation under balance, under control. That's having a huge impact on their ability to do their job. right? And more importantly, it's going to give you the opportunity to win by process over and over and over again, because guys like Cam, guys like Reggie, guys like Warren Sapp, they knew they were going to get their wins. It was just a question of how many wins did they get when the quarterback was holding the ball long enough to make a sack or have a pressure, because those things are really what impact the game. Play the numbers game by doing one thing extremely well. If you have any more questions, hit us up at Unrivaled ESS on Twitter. Hit us up on Process to Perform on Instagram. Hit me up if you want to go through this in a little more detail. If you guys are looking for a way to really get ahead in the game, start looking at the basics of the sport. Check us out on process2perform.com. Happy to help.